Q3 was an eventful quarter for Blizzard. We launched our first console game in many years with Diablo III. We also announced an expansion pack for Diablo III, Reaper of Souls. Additionally, beta testing for Hearthstone kicked off, and we released a significant new content update for World of Warcraft. All of this activity has netted out to a strong quarter, where we ended higher in net revenue and operating income versus Q2, mostly due to the Diablo III console launch in September. Revenues and income were down year over year as expected due to the successful launch of Mists of Pandaria and ongoing sales of Diablo III during the same quarter last year. Going into more specific detail with World of Warcraft, we're very pleased with the response to Siege of Orgrimmar, the massive content update we released in September. This update included a huge new raid dungeon with major story elements, as well as a new area to explore and features that improve the game's accessibility. Flexible raids now allow groups of variable size to participate in endgame raiding dungeons. Meanwhile, the Proving Grounds feature trains players to improve at playing specific roles, preparing them to participate in endgame content. Player response to the content has been good, and we saw increased engagement that has contributed to maintaining relatively stable subscribership quarter over quarter. We'll continue to invest heavily in World of Warcraft to deliver frequent, high-quality content to our players. Moving on to Diablo III, we're pleased with the response to the game's launch on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Lifetime sell-through of the game across all platforms has reached over 14 million copies, and reviews have been very positive about how the game plays on console. Much of the praise has been centered on changes we made to the loot system and our decision to keep the auction house off of the console platform. Players and critics alike have noted that these changes have resulted in a more fun and satisfying game experience. That reaction factored in our decision to remove the auction houses from the PC version of Diablo III effective next March, which players have also responded very positively to. We're building upon those design philosophies for loot and incorporating them into Reaper of Souls, the Diablo III expansion pack, which is coming for PC and PS4 in 2014. In addition to the new loot system, Reaper of Souls will include an additional player class, the Crusader, and more gameplay modes for the end game to keep players engaged. The reaction to Reaper of Souls at Gamescom was very positive, and we're looking forward to revealing more about the game at Blizzcon. It was also a busy quarter for Hearthstone, our free-to-play digital card game for PC and iPad, based on the Warcraft universe. In Hearthstone, players build decks of cards that feature familiar spells and creatures from World of Warcraft and battle against each other using the cards. Players can collect cards simply by playing or by purchasing digital packs. They can also purchase entries into a special competitive mode of play called the Arena in exchange for either in-game currency or a small fee. We've seen a great response from the community with the closed beta test, which kicked off in August. Hearthstone quickly became one of the most popular streamed games on Twitch, and we have been expanding the beta test to encompass more regions and a wider group of players. We're continuing to work on polishing the game as we drive towards open beta testing. Rounding out our big announcement since the last call is the name change of Blizzard All-Stars to Heroes of the Storm, which is our take on free-to-play hero brawlers. We've done an extensive internal test on Heroes over the past several months, and as the game has evolved, we felt it was appropriate to change the name to something more fitting of the gameplay experience. We're looking forward to sharing more details about Heroes at Blizzcon, which is taking place this weekend at the Anaheim Convention Center. This is another sold-out show with more than 20,000 attendees coming to Anaheim from more than 40 different countries. Our global community will also follow along through DirecTV, online pay-per-view on BlizzCon.com, and partner broadcasts in other regions. We'll be showcasing our biggest pipeline of games ever and showing our appreciation for our community through contests, meet and greets, and of course, major esports spectacles. The World of Warcraft Arena Invitational and the global grand finals of the StarCraft II World Championship Series will be taking place, along with an invitational tournament for Hearthstone featuring popular community personalities. All of us at Blizzard can't wait to get back to BlizzCon and connect with our players. We hope you'll join us there or follow along online with a virtual ticket, available online at BlizzCon.com. We're looking forward to celebrating a shared passion of gaming with our players, hearing their feedback on our newest game content, and taking that energy and knowledge back to work as we drive toward an exciting 2014 for Blizzard.
Our next question comes from Colin Sebastian, Robert Baird & Company.
Great. Thanks for taking my question. I guess curious, now that the transaction is behind you, I'm wondering how you're approaching further development plans and customer support, Mike, for World of Warcraft, just given the changing mix of the user base towards Western markets. And with the content update, wondering if you could provide a little more color on what the distribution of the users are geographically. Thanks.
Well, in the last quarter, the user base has been pretty stable. I think that the way that we're viewing customer service for WoW, of course, we want to maintain a high-quality service to our players, but I think we want to continue to look at more efficient and better ways of doing that. And so there are a lot of efforts going towards improving customer self-help so that our millions of players don't actually have to contact us directly. But in terms of the content and developing, we have more resources focused on developing content for World of Warcraft than ever before. So we expect it to continue having a long and happy life.